Why do we chase after those who don't value us? Why do we find ourselves pursuing someone who no longer values us? Why do we shrink ourselves, begging for scraps of attention while they move on without a second thought? It's time to face the mirror. Are you proud of the person staring back? The one bending and breaking for someone who treats you like an afterthought? This isn't love. It's a prison, a cycle that keeps you chasing validation from someone who doesn't see your worth. The mirror test. When you look in the mirror, do you see someone who knows their worth, or someone lost in the pursuit of someone else's approval? Chasing someone's validation is like trying to quench your thirst with salt water. It only leaves you feeling emptier. Remember, no one can give you what you refuse to give yourself. True peace and confidence come from valuing yourself first. Start by rediscovering what makes you unique. Each day, write down one thing you appreciate about yourself. This simple practice reminds you that your worth isn't dependent on anyone else's perception. When you start valuing yourself, you'll notice that others may begin to take notice too. Confidence is magnetic, and self-respect sets a standard that others admire. Walk away to break the cycle. Many of us fall into the trap of chasing someone who's pulling away. It feels counterintuitive to stop trying, but the more you chase, the more you undervalue yourself. Walking away isn't giving up, it's an act of self-respect. It's about recognizing when your efforts aren't being reciprocated. By stepping back, you force them to see what life looks like without your energy. Remember, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. When you chase someone who doesn't value you, you cling to something beyond your control. Walking away is a declaration that your peace is more important than their approval. If they come back, it will be because they realized what they lost, not because you begged them to see it. Set boundaries like a leader. Imagine your life as a kingdom filled with treasures, your energy, time, and peace of mind. Setting boundaries is an act of courage, a way of saying I value myself enough to protect what matters most. When you neglect to set boundaries, you give away control over your life. Speak up when someone crosses a line, even if it feels uncomfortable. Discomfort is often the price of growth. Let them feel the void. When someone no longer values you, it can feel like a blow to your self-worth. But value isn't something you can beg for. It's something others realize when they see what they've taken for granted. Sometimes, the most powerful reminder of your worth is your absence. When you step back, you create a void that forces them to reflect on what they've lost. Reinvest in yourself. Consider how much energy you've poured into trying to fix a relationship. Now, imagine redirecting that energy toward yourself. This isn't about proving your worth to someone else. It's about living a life that reflects your values. Start with small actions, read a book, exercise, or pursue a hobby. Each step you take builds your self-respect and confidence. Stop over-explaining. When someone stops valuing you, it's easy to fall into the trap of over-explaining yourself. Confidence isn't about having the perfect explanation. It's about knowing your worth. If you set a boundary, don't feel the need to justify it. A simple, "This doesn't work for me," is powerful enough. Silence can speak volumes. Recognize red flags. Ignoring the signs that someone no longer values you only stretches the discomfort. Ask yourself tough questions. Are you always the one making an effort? Are you tolerating behavior that leaves you feeling small? Recognizing these red flags is the first step to reclaiming your peace. Shine without chasing. Be like a lighthouse, steady and unshaken. Your job isn't to convince others of your worth. It's to remember it yourself. When you stop chasing validation, you begin to exude a quiet confidence that attracts the right people. Cut the dead weight. Toxic relationships can act like invisible chains, holding you down. Letting go isn't easy, but it's necessary for your growth. You can't control how someone treats you, but you control your response. Release the weight and watch yourself rise. Reclaim your focus. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. If you keep pouring energy into someone who doesn't value you, you'll feel drained. Instead, redirect that energy toward yourself, your goals, passions, and well-being. This shift not only benefits you, but also reminds others of your value.